Home Secretary Theresa May has called for an end to what she described as a culture of bullying and harassment in parts of the fire service in England. She has revealed radical reforms for the service, including new inspections, but warned of further savings. She said the diversity of the 96% white, 95% male workforce should also be transformed. But Matt Wrack, of the Fire Brigades Union, said the service would not cope with further cuts. Greater accountability. In a speech in London, she announced she will publish data to show how much each fire and rescue authority is paying for items including uniform, kit, and vehicles to help services work together to buy equipment and services. Information will also be published to allow members of the public to compare their performance and value for money and diversity. Ms. May said the fire service had a fine tradition and a proud record, but there remains much more to do. Announcing a rigorous and independent inspection regime, the Home Secretary said she will make amendments to the Policing and Crime Bill to put beyond doubt the powers of fire inspectors to access information, and to ensure the government has the power to commission inspections. She also highlighted a widening disparity between the pay of chief fire officers in different parts of the country, with little relationship to their skills, performance, or the size of the role. The Policing and Crime Bill, which is making its way through Parliament, will also allow police and crime commissioners to take on responsibility for fire services to bring greater accountability. Ms. May is only announcing changes in England, as control for fire services is devolved to the four nations of the UK. Worst austerity cuts. Ms. May said although fire authorities had shouldered their fair share in making savings, further savings will need to be made over the next 4 years. But she said her plan does not and should not mean a reduction in the quality of frontline firefighting. Just as we have seen in policing, it is possible to protect the frontline and increase the proportion of officers deployed in frontline roles even as savings are made, she said. But Mr. Wrack said, the truth is we've had the worst austerity cuts on record, and that has been reflected in a record number of fire stations closed, a record number of fire engines being axed, and a record number of firefighter jobs being cut. Sir Ken Knight, former Chief Fire and Rescue Advisor for the government, said, "We need targets that fit the local communities, set by the local fire and rescue service authorities so that it meets the community that it serves. And top-down targets by central government frankly don't work, and it's got to be in the will and the gift and the DNA of the organization to want to reflect the community it serves, both in fire safety, as well as the response."